Definition of pH is the logarithm of the hydrogen ion concentration of a solution. pH scale. The pH scale measures how acid or basic is the substance. The scale is from 0 to 14, which 0 to 6 is acid, 7 is neutral, and 8 to 14 is basic. Production of cheese is divided by 5 steps, which are crops, the curd process, the pre-soiled tannage, cook or scald. Well, the milk we use for the production of cheese needs 1 month of maceration and it doesn't need pasteurization. The crops. The other step is the use of thermophilic crops and single strain. Both are used for the development of lactic acid, carbon dioxide, and contribute to protein degradation. The curd process. Calcium chloride is used to make the coagulation in the cheese, and the addition of carbon chloride artificially low the pH of the milk. Coagulation of casein is the fundamental process of cheese making. This process is governed by the temperature and acidity. Pre-soiled tannage. Some cheese needs to drain the serum and then mix with hot water, and this decreases the amount of lactose. The fermentation of lactose is caused by the lactase enzyme present in lactic acid bacteria. Cook. Storage creates conditions to control the ripening of cheese. Each type of cheese should have a specific temperature for the stage of maturation. It's very important that in the whole process verify pH change.
The lactic acid is the responsible that the pH or acidity of the milk go changing. The pH or acidity of the milk decreases during cheese production. For too low acidity, if the necessary acidity is not reached because we interrupt the action of bacteria before time, cheese will lose much more serum and will not make crust being too moist cheese. And for too high acidity, it will be a too soft cheese, and instead of mature, will continue to ferment to developing a more acidic flavor.
When the germs use the lactose, this produces lactic acid, which is in charge of the pH change. The pH is one of the stuffs that affect the textile properties of the cheese, cause has an effect on the proteins. When the cheese is hard, its pH is neutral, and when the pH is bigger, the cheese is more elastic. The cheeses that are made in Mexico are fresh because have a pH between 5.1 and 5.3. Now I'm going to talk about the pH values in different cheeses. Fresh cheese has a pH bigger than 6.1. White cheese has a pH equal or smaller than 5.6 when the milk is heated to 85 degrees and an organic acid is added to pH and it becomes 5.3. Panela cheese has a pH of 5.6 to 6.4. Cottage cheese has a pH between 5 and 5.5. Oaxaca cheese has a pH between 5 and 5.3. Asadero cheese has a pH between 5 and 5.5.
If you do not reach the acidity necessary, because we will interrupt the action of bacteria, before the time you will lose a lot more cheese weight and not get to make bark, leaving a cheese too moist. This happens when the acidity is low in a cheese. Acidity too high in the curd. We will a cheese too soft and rare. That mature brewing will continue developing a more acid flavor. If we want to reduce the acidity of a curd, can be washed with warm water. This happens when the acidity is so high in a cheese.